Well, after 18 weeks of action, there's just 14 teams now with an opportunity to grab the Lombardi Trophy. 5 games that J-Mac has perused and made a choice, and he will now unveil them. Here we go. Tomorrow's headlines. Today we start. Rams at the Panthers tomorrow on Fox.
It should be a good opener for the playoffs, right? You get arguably the best team in the league in the Rams, and then against first-time playoff quarterback in Bryce Young. The headline will be up on Matt Rushmore. Stafford still moves mountains. I like the Rams here a lot. Colin, fun stat for you. Rams had 8 wins of 14 or more points this year. 8, okay? They crushed teams, and it's not all Falcons and bad teams. Right. Included in there, Jacksonville, who they stomped over in London, and San Francisco as well. Just remember, guys, the Rams dominated the earlier meeting with the Panthers. 7.4 yards per play. They faced 5 third downs in the whole game because they're getting chunks of yardage so easily. Just the Stafford pick 6 hurt, and then Bryce Young with a couple lucky high-leverage plays on 4th down. But Quentin Lake will shore up the secondary. He returns. Now, I will say there is one word of caution. I haven't heard anybody mention this. So the defensive coordinator of the Panthers is Evero, who was with the Rams and McVay for a few years. He has faced 3 McVay quarterbacks this season. Jordan Love, who he beat, Brock Purdy, who threw 3 interceptions, and Matt Stafford, who threw 2. So he seems to know that McVay-Shanahan tree well. I just don't know if the Panthers can score to keep up with the Rams, even if they hold them to 28.
Right.
Do you think the Panthers are getting 21 on this defense?
No.
They're going to need a defensive touchdown. So I like the Rams to win and cover.
Tomorrow's headlines today. Packers at the Bears tomorrow. I know where you're leaning.
Round 3 should be a fun one. I mean, it's going to be cold. I'm waiting on the full weather report because the precipitation we still don't know. I don't know that it matters, Colin. The headline for Packers-Bears round 3 will be great expectations. Cheddar heads, barbecue, Johnson's brats. I'm going with Jordan Love. Listen, though I can't get over this, but both teams had that week 5 bye. They've been playing for a long time. One team played their guys last week against the Lions. Hard, tough matchup for the Bears. The other team sat their stars. Packers are going to be rested coming in. Maybe there's some rust. I like Jordan Love here to get it done. He's going to have his full complement of receivers. Watson, Reed, Dobbs. Colin, they faced off twice this year. The Packers the Packers never trailed for 1 second in the 2 meetings. I know Ben Johnson's smart. I think the Packers get it done here, and I think they can win with some margin. There is a theme. I'm going to be fading first-time playoff quarterbacks. Bryce Young, first time. Caleb Williams, first time. And the reason, Colin, the number. First-time playoff quarterbacks against quarterbacks who have been in the playoffs, 19-37-1. They do not do well.
Tomorrow's headlines today. Another game on Fox. Big brand. San Francisco 49ers at Philly.
This one hurts because I love the Eagles. You know, I had them smashing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and I love me some Brock Purdy and the Niners. However, the headline for Eagles hosting the Niners will be a Kittle hard work never hurts anyone. Give me Jalen Hurts, Colin. I like the Eagles here pretty comfortably. What stinks about this is it's the matchup of the best, I think, defense in the NFC. Sorry, Seattle, against the best offense in the NFC. So you get these 2 great units meeting, and I just got to give the edge to the defense. It feels like
especially
a defensive
at home.
year. Yeah. I'm looking at the injury reports. It looks like the Eagles are all clear. They did rest their guys last week. Remember, week 18 against
Lane
Washington.
Johnson's going to play.
Lane Johnson's back. Jalen Carter's good with the shoulders. Then you look at San Fran. They were in a war last week against Seattle. That was a battle. Remember, Brock Purdy ended up on his back at the end of that game. It's not looking good for Trent Williams. The injury report today will be pivotal. Pearsall, unlikely to play. I don't know. I'll go Eagles low scoring 21-13.
Tomorrow's headlines today. You've been hot on this since Monday. The Chargers and their wobbly O-line travel to Foxborough to take on the Patriots.
Imagine that. The guy out here in L.A. likes both West Coast teams. In what should be a barn burner, the headline Sunday night, Chargers, Patriots will be Tea Party Foul. Pat's puke after Charger punch. Yeah, Drake May, look at that. Listen, man, everything about this matchup for the Chargers, Colin, screams success. The Patriots don't get to the quarterback, 25th in pressure rate, so they can't take advantage of that weak offensive line. I will also add, New England only played 4 playoff teams. 1 in the last 12 weeks. They went 2-2. Fewest opponents in the playoffs. We're not going to go over the quarterbacks they faced that are weak. Justin Herbert, though, in the red zone. Chargers, they're awesome. Chargers defense, 4th best in the red zone. Patriots, 29th. If they can matriculate the ball down the field with Vidal Sassoon and Mr. Hampton, he better play. I think they're going to be fine. Gadsden is an emerging tight end.
Yeah.
By the way, last year Harbaugh beat up Drake May badly. They won 40-7. Now, I know it was Mayo and a different staff, and May was a young guy. But I'm just telling you, Jesse Minter could be the star of this one, Colin. He's going to – I guarantee you he gets a head coaching job in the next – whenever they're done. Because he's highly coveted in net quarters.
Well, I mean, listen, you feel strongly about it, and I just that O-line for the Chargers is so leaky.
By the way, Patriots at home, 3 losses this year. 1 was to the Raiders, week 1. Also lost to the Steelers.
Finally, tomorrow's headlines today. Monday night. I don't think this will be the most stirring game.
Why not? Come on, you love defense, don't you?
Not that much defense. Texans, Steelers.
Texans, Steelers, Monday. We haven't done too much on this game, but I feel like this is kind of a slam dunk. The headline for Texans at the Steelers will be rust in peace. Texans tarnish steel curtain. It's over for Tomlin. Give me the Texans. We are winning comfortably. Colin, fun stat in the playoffs. You've been on this for years. Mike Tomlin, last 6 playoff games. 0-6 straight up. 0-6 against the spread. They're not competitive. It almost feels like Pittsburgh does everything to extend that Mike Tomlin makes the playoffs, finishes above 500 streak. Then they get to the playoffs and they flop. Now, I know Rodgers is your guy. You love you some Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how he survives against this pass rush from the Texans. It is nasty. DeMeco Ryans has them juiced up. And Nico Collins is a guy. I'm going to look to bet his prop overs
he's great.
Against his zone defense. Like, they cannot – Nico Collins is going to eat.
Houston doesn't have a great offense, but they have big play potential.
But Nico and the young guys from Iowa State.
Yeah, they're not – it's not – they don't – it's not a 15-play drive, consistent, efficient offense, but they got home run hitters.
Somebody tried to sell me on what? Dome team going to cold weather. Apparently, it's going to be freezing. Do you think of Houston as like they can't handle cold weather?
I worry about weather. Like Green Bay's deep passing offense in Chicago. Christian Watson is supposed to have 30-mile-an-hour gusts, so that you just take that out. So I don't think Green Bay runs the ball effectively with consistency. So big plays down. And for the record, Jordan Love loves throwing the deep ball.
Oh, certainly.
He lets it rip. You can just eliminate that stuff.
But like C.J. Stroud played at Ohio State in a lot of cold weather. I don't think this is going to be a big weather game in Pittsburgh. I think, if anything, the Steelers, they were in a major battle last week. Texans pulled their guys at halftime last week. Pittsburgh, brutal matchup. A slobber knocker against your Ravens. I don't see them bouncing back, Colin. I like Houston here, like 23-9 or something like that.
All right. Well, you didn't touch the Bills-Jaguars.
I bet Jaguars first half, but I've got to be nervous about Josh Allen taking over the game. He can do that.
Yeah.
Now, will he is another question.
Yeah, it's one of the. I felt nervous about New England, and no O-line that bad has ever won a playoff game. I think all your stuff on New England is true. They have not played a good schedule. I really look at that in college a lot. For years and years, the SEC was so good they just beat each other up. I think it's something. I don't know how much it is. I'm more concerned about schedule when it comes to MVP race. Like Stafford faced a much better schedule than Drake May. So individually, I think that benefits Stafford. As a team, you're efficient or you're not. And I think New England's really efficient. They're not, for the record, they're not great. You and I have said this. I think they're still in a rebuild. I honestly think New England's in a rebuild. They need another 6 draft picks.
Like Chicago and New England are way ahead of schedule.
Way ahead of schedule.
Final thing. We talked about McDermott. If they lose and badly, maybe he gets run. What about Mike Tomlin? Could we see Mike Tomlin?
They don't make moves.
I don't think they would let him go. What if he says, guys, I'm exhausted. Harbaugh's out. Let me just chill.
Tomlin's energy is great. I think, and again, I don't think Houston's the kind of team that can blow them out. It'll feel 23-17 or thereabouts, and and then you're just going to say, well, we made the playoffs, and kumbaya, and Aaron loves Tomlin. I think he's coming back. See you Monday.